Welcome back to another video. You may be wondering, where are the real estate deals, especially in this hot market? Stay tuned and I'll explain where you can still find deals in this hot real estate market. If you're already subscribed to my channel, you'll know that I'm in Massachusetts, and like many other metro cities, we're experiencing one of the biggest booms in real estate demand ever. COVID has had no effect, and in fact may have caused significantly higher demand. Among the problems with people concerned of not being able to collect rents and investing in rental property, that is really a small part of owners or investors that are having a problem. So as a potential investor, you may wondering yourself, where can I still find a deal? Let's go through where you may. As a potential buyer who may not already own a home, or if you're looking to move to a new home, you may want to start with a fixer-upper. Rather than paying the premium to somebody that already invested and fixed up a property, you may be happy to buy at market price, but that's where the demand lies. On the other hand, if you are handy or you have the money to get work done, you may be able to buy a fixer-upper. Now, you may want to make sure that it is still habitable so that you can get a primary residence loan, or as an investor that it qualifies for a loan, because the requirement for a loan is that the property can be occupied. If the property cannot be occupied, then you may have to look into other options, or the property is not a fixer-upper. So by fixer-upper, we simply mean that the property is outdated. It may need new flooring, it may need painting, it may need a new roof, perhaps a new kitchen or bathroom, but it's just old. It is still useful, and it just isn't up to date with what you're used to when you look through Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com and see all those beautiful pictures of all homes that have been updated. As an investor, if you want to rent the property, I keep reading that people say, hey, if you want 2021 rents, your home better be updated to the year 2021 as well. The next choice in investing is what we call fix and flip. Fix and flip simply means you are buying a dilapidated property. Perhaps it's been condemned, perhaps it has a broken roof, broken siding, broken windows, perhaps it's boarded up or gated, and the city may already be fining it for being in violation of code or ordinance. As a fix and flip, you need to understand that it's all about the numbers. You need to put in a good price to get the property, but you must have already done the research for what a fixed up property will sell for. And then you work your way backwards and take into account what things cost to fix. How much will a new roof cost? How much will a new kitchen cost? How much will the updated bathroom cost? You take into account flooring, painting, electrical, plumbing. You take into account heating. Don't go overboard because you may be outside the norm for the market. It's especially important that you research comps. And comps are simply references to other properties that have sold in the same regional area or neighborhood or market, so that if you have the ability to bring up the property to an updated 2021 version, you can sell for what other homes have sold. One of the errors many people make is over-fixing, and that just simply means you fixed it up so well, but the market does not support the price that you want, and you may in fact lose money because you put too much into it. It's something that people learn with experience, and you have to have either good contractors or be handy, but that's where real estate deals can still be found. The next choice for a savvy investor is buying foreclosures. Now, if you don't know what a foreclosure is, it's simply an entity or person seeking to foreclose the property as a consequence of violating some sort of term or condition. The most common that we all hear about is mortgage foreclosure. That simply means the borrowers fail to pay the bank, and the bank wants to repossess the property, sell it at auction, and recover what may be due on the note. But that's not the only type of foreclosure. A property can be foreclosed for past due real estate taxes, past due homeowners or condo association fees. It may be subject to foreclosure due to a judgment that was attached to the property, perhaps a mechanic's lien, or somebody may have a contract or business dealings that resulted in a judgment and the house was secured as a lien for repayment. Foreclosures are especially dangerous because you need to understand how a title exam works and priority in liens. The rule is anything recorded after the lien being foreclosed gets wiped out. So if you're foreclosing on a mortgage, a second mortgage, or anything recorded after gets wiped out. But you have to be especially careful because every state has different rules. For example, in Massachusetts, it's very rare to see real estate tax foreclosures. They simply do not happen, or they're 1 in a million. On the other hand, tax foreclosures are very common in the state of Florida, but there is a big difference. In addition, you may also notice that in Massachusetts, we have condo foreclosures or homeowner association foreclosures. As a rule, those wipe any other lien prior to it, even if they're for a mortgage. On the other hand, in the state of Florida, it's my understanding a homeowner or condo foreclosure will not wipe out a mortgage on the property. So people have to be familiar with those rules and understand that whatever the bid price for the property may be, you still have to satisfy and pay off any outstanding mortgage. What does not get wiped out are any liens by the city, any outstanding utilities by the city for municipal liens, and/or outstanding taxes, code violations, or nuisance violations. If you want to become savvy as an investor in real estate foreclosures or foreclosures in general, you better look into reading a title exam or understanding a title exam. And you have to familiarize yourself with local city records, what recording priorities are, what the expiration dates are, or you don't necessarily have to know it, but you have to have connections with a real estate attorney or closing company that can answer and help with those questions that you have. So that is simply another way that some investors are still finding deals. Another option that you may hear is what we call estate sales. Now, an estate sale is not really a different type of sale. It still is a regular sale. The only difference is a lot of people misunderstand how the process works because we don't have an individual with the ability to sell. Normally, if somebody had a will, the will express who the heirs are. Then those heirs can in fact turn around and sell the property. On the other hand, if there is no will or the will fails to state that the heirs have the right to sell, then through court process they get what's called a license to sell or permission to sell. And the reason people misunderstand or aren't patient is that it can be a lengthy process because a lot of people just don't have the patience to deal with the court or misunderstand how the process works. But if you have the patience and the connections, you may be able to find a good deal when people are just interested in getting their proceeds or division as heir to a home that was inherited. And you have to understand that you'll have to probably take it as is. Now, the attorney for the estate has the obligation to obtain the best and highest offer, but they understand that not too many people have the patience to continue to get loan approvals that will continuously extend until the court approves the closing, and they would prefer a cash closing or somebody that can easily get qualified for a loan very quickly. As you can see, finding deals really all depends on where you are located. Some markets have more of one type of property than another. So it is up to you to decide, first of all, what you feel comfortable with, where do you want to invest, and then work to keep track and find those deals. Deals can be found in any market, and it's really up to you to just stay on top of the game and keep up with it. Price is simply a measure of what people value a property. Rents reflect what a property may be worth. The higher the rents, the higher the prices. And that's the reason here in Boston we have such high demand and such high purchase prices. On one end, you can buy a $100,000 property in Florida, but in Massachusetts, it's unlikely you'll find a deal for under 400 or 300 depending on what city you're in. But right in the middle of Boston, 2 and 3 family homes are going between 600 to 800 and somewhere in between. It's crazy. Even I can't believe it. But that's the market we're in. Everybody's waiting for it to change, but there's really no way to predict when that change will occur or what direction it will take. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to stay tuned for more content and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.